Now, as far as renaming layers goes in Photoshop, again, similar to Illustrator in that you double click a name to change this to something descriptive, an everything layer. I'm going to teach you about that, and there's a special undocumented shortcut. It's not in the menu, it's not in the pullout, it's not anywhere in Photoshop, but the shortcut exists, and it's something we're going to use all year long. And I showed you that you can also tuck away smart filters. These, if I turn this off, you're going to see that it changes the appearance here dramatically sometimes. So double clicking the name lets you change it, but double clicking out here, remember it brought up layer options in Illustrator where you got to rename the layer. Well, here it's going to bring up layer styles, which are down at the bottom, this little FX down at the bottom right here. That's layer styles where you bring this up, and you notice there's lots of choices here. We're going to spend some time. This is a very powerful, very complicated, but like everything in Photoshop, as soon as you start using it and you get more familiar with it, complicated just means unfamiliar. And perhaps I shouldn't have used that word. But just know in Photoshop, you double click out here on accident, just hit escape, click the escape keys in the upper left-hand corner. Your left hand, I hope you're right-handed with the mouse, because all the cool shortcuts on the keyboard are on the left side. This QWERTY keyboard that was designed in the 1800s, how did they know about Photoshop? And it would use all the keyboard shortcuts over there on the left-hand side. Of course, there's ones on the right too, but predominantly will be on the left. So all these programs are two-handed programs. You're moving the mouse with one hand, and your shortcuts are accessed with the other hand. But back to these layers. Moving around, you don't have the same, there's no way to put a layer inside another layer. You can just pull them up and drag them around. That's really simple. The ability to select individual layers. Here, all of these layers occupy all the space, but if this were the eyes and this were the lips and this was the nose and this was a picture of a face, you were separating out elements to keep them, on their own layers so you could work intelligently. And you wanted to click out here on the eyes to move to the eye layer to activate it. Well, that option is up here. It's really cool. And this deals with the move tool and what are you going to select in the layer stack. And here, the last time I worked in Photoshop, I selected group because when you group layers, I'm going to go ahead, whoops. Well, I'll just go ahead and shift click. The cat's on the desk walking around, so this is going to be an adventure. And then if I hit Command G, it drops these things into a group. In Illustrator, when you group different layers, it just moves the content onto one layer and leaves the other layers blank, which, why are you doing that to me? That just makes no sense. So I'm going to hit undo to get out of that group. Command Z is your special shortcut. But if I change group to layer, then if I clicked on the eyes, it would jump to the eyes layer. If I clicked on the lips, it would jump to the lips layer. So that is a fabulous way to work because you're always going back to the move tool. The move tool is like the selection tool in Illustrator. The top tool in the toolbar is the one you're going to use most of the time, and it's the letter V. If I hit the M, I get the marquee tool. If I hit V, no command, no anything like that, just the letter, I get back to the move tool. So working with layers, practice, and pretty soon, as Boo is agreeing down there, meowing away, that it's going to be second nature. You're going to love layers.